Энэ бол iPhone 6s. Тийм ч их өөрчлөгдөөгүй. Гэхдээ хурууны даралтыг мэдэрнэ. Ингэснээр текстийн мэдээллийг уншихад өөр болсон. Имэйл уншихад, мэдээ уншихад байз. Чи мэдээ уншдаг гэж юу?
Яп.
Тэгэлгүй дээ. Камер нь 4К бичлэг хийж, селфи хийхэд дэлгэцэн гэрэлтүүлж өгнө. Энд ч нэгсээ лайк цуглуулна да.
Thanks.
Зургнууд нь бас өөрчлөгдөж амьд болсон. Та хүрээд үз. Тийм ээ, энэ бол өөрчлөгдсөн зүйлс.
Сайн байцгаана уу хүнд үзэгчтэй. Өнөөдөр манай дефакто нэвтрүүлгийн зочноор Финланд улсын Лапранта технологийн их сургуулийн магистр ноён Илкка Како оролцож байна. Good evening.
Yes.
So you come to Mongolia to make an interesting speech. What is that about?
It's about third generation science parks. Because, you know, if you want to get the innovation going up in Mongolia, you need a new approach. The triple helix model, what they normally use in science parks, is outdated. Now, in this, where we enter the post-normal era, where nothing is normal anymore. So, we need a new approach for innovation environment development.
You said post-normal era. Why normal? Why not normal?
No, it's because everything is happening so rapidly at the moment in the global innovation environment. For instance, Airbnb is the biggest bed provider for the world. They have no pets. They have just gone this kind of sharing economy system throughout the world. Uber is the biggest taxi provider for the world. They have no cars.
Yes.
So this kind of thing, you know, business models are changing.
And why it would be impacting on the way how science park is made? What is the science park 1, 2nd, and 3rd generation?
In Finland, for instance, there are no more, in the metropolitan area, there are no more science parks. Because there are some other entities coming up from, you know, like grassroots level activities. No science parks. So science parks are push. And I love this, what John Hagel, well, his very good book about the pull of power, the power of pull, sorry.
Yep.
So you attract something instead of pushing something.
So in terms of this scientific science park, I understand that now maybe some great things be made in the garage somewhere, right?
Yeah.
In the home.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to get all of them into one position or one space to get working together. That's the new meanings.
Yes.
So what does it apply then? How does it apply to Mongolia today?
Well, what I have been meeting a lot of people here. Minister, everybody. And well, I think you have to create an environment, physical environment and virtual environment, where people who have ideas, they can meet. So my basic idea is to get a co-working place downtown Ulaanbaatar. The other thing is to get virtual competence platform connected to that.
How does it work then with this idea of having a university campus in Mongolia? Now there's a big deal is going on. They want to take out every university to one place and create university campus. And then also they consider it to be also kind of science park as well. How does it work?
It works exactly this way. So like must University of Science and Technology.
Yes.
They have 3 campuses
Yes.
somewhere.
Yes.
But the problem, they are separated
Yes.
first. So
Physically separated. Yes.
yes, they should have one downtown
Uh-huh.
location where everybody could go. And that's
The idea of this government or previous government having all universities even moving into one place physically,
Yes.
150 kilometers away from the city. And the concern was they have a plan, map, everything, and they start to work. And then the concern is they need to, because it's 150 kilometers away, Paganur, in one of the districts, so-called the city. And it is a matter of bringing all teachers as well. They cannot go with our transport 150 kilometers every morning. So how does it work if there is similar things happening in the world?
I think what happens in Finland.
Uh-huh.
So in Finland we had metropolitan area Helsinki. We had 3 different universities. University of Technology, University of Business, University of Arts. What happened? Just 5 years ago, they all emerged. So now we have Aalto University, which is all these combined.
What's the Aalto?
Aalto, Alvar Aalto.
I see.
It's the famous Finnish architecture,
Uh-huh.
and that's why they call it Aalto University.
University.
Yes. So they all emerged because the innovation, the creativity will happen between the disciplines. Not, if you are doing this and this and very focused on something, but no. But the innovation happens between disciplines. So you have to mix. And that's my message also here, is how to create new combinations of competencies. That's the point. How to create new combinations of competencies.
Combination of competencies. Yes.
Yes, that's the point.
And how you call it, serendipity?
It's exactly what I said.
Serendipity.
Because serendipity is kind of, the short notion is, serendipity is the art of benefiting from unexpected.
And how does it work, for example? Please tell me an example.
Yes, because there are lots of examples in science and business, how serendipity happens. When something unexpected happens and somebody is taking the notice inside about that, like Archimedes, for instance. This is a good story. May I go for that? Archimedes was a very famous scientist that times. And the king, he had a problem or challenge, because he gave 10 kilos of gold to somebody, goldsmith, to say, okay, make me a nice crown, new crown. The new crown was there, okay, it was 10 kilos weight, but as you know, gold, something could be put on the gold and it still looks like gold, So the king was thinking, am I cheated in this case? Yes. And he gave Archimedes this thing, you have to think about how I can prove if this is valid or not. And he had this challenge, prepared mind. Prepared mind is always in serendipity thinking very good, because you have to have prepared mind. So he had this for many weeks or many months already, thinking how to handle this. And when he went to the bath, full of water, jumped in, he noticed that some of the water, excess
Flashed out,
water, was like going out.
Yes.
Then, at that certain moment, he realized, okay, when I go there, the excess of water is the same as volume of my body.
Yes.
And that was exactly what he
Eureka.
noticed.
Eureka.
And he ran throughout the Syracuse, streets naked. Heureka, heureka, I have done it. But that was the point. He realized that the excess of the water is exactly the volume of the very difficult to find,
Yes.
And what happened then? Okay, he calculated everything.
Yes.
So he calculated that the volume of the ground is much more than if it would have been only cold. And so they got the evidence. This goldsmith was
Wait.
losing his head because he was cheating.
What it has to do with the volume then? Volume is something that has to do with the of this whole volume, but now you find out how much gold is there than how you found out that gold is there.
Because if you put more something else there,
Yes.
the volume increases.
It should be pure gold, nothing more, nothing
Yes,
else.
yes.
And it was not only gold.
It was
something
not
more.
only gold.
So it's
Because they were putting some other, like
Materials,
copper or I don't know what. Cheaper
materials.
And that's why the whole crown was bigger in
than
volume.
Yes.
Than,
I
so
see
that
than
is a
gold.
good story
Yeah.
about serendipity, because
is
he
it-
is one of the guys
Uh-huh.
saying, Heureka, Heureka.
Цаг хугацаа давтагдчихгүй. Харин түүнийг яаж зөв ашигласнаар бидний амжилт бүтээл, аз жаргал биднийг давтдаг. Урлагийн хүний хувьд гэр бүл, уран бүтээлдээ зарцуулах цагаа зөв зохицуулах хэрэгтэй гэдэг. Бидний хэрэглээ улам ухаалаг болсоор байгаа нь та бүхэнд харагдчих байна. Харин энэ бүхэн надад үнэхээр их таалагдаж байна.
Ухаалаг орон сууц. King Tower Apartment.
This kind of.
So, what does it happening now? What is the recent example? Archimedes, long time ago,
Yeah,
2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
What is the recent examples of the serendipity? They were out of sudden, they discover something that impact on the way we live.
Yes. Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, okay. But there are very controversial talks going out about Bitcoin. Remember last year?
Bitcoin was basically invited because there was a guy or a couple of guys who were friends. And one guy was losing his money in Britain. And two other friends of them, they were in France. And this guy called them, please, I have no money, I have been, robbed, kind of thing. Could you send me 1,000 pounds? Just in order to, okay, fine, no problem. And then they went to the bank. They tried to find a way to transfer the money from France to Britain. And the result was that in order to transfer 1,000 pounds, it will cost you 1,450.
Okay.
So they started to think, is this possible? How is this possible? Why can't we have this kind of currency, whatever, which is easy transfer, and the banks are not getting the
Involved.
Yes, so that's one. Graphene, you know graphene.
Okay.
Graphene is one. There was a experiment in university, and then there was Chinese assistant for this professor, and they were doing something, you know, and he was giving instructions that you have to, how do you call it, smooth them down.
Polish, huh?
Yeah, polish something. But he was doing too much polishing. So they were going to very, very small entities.
Okay.
And with Scotch tape, this, they kind of found it that, okay, this is something else, what we have never ever before experienced. So graphene is also serendipitous. Okay, flaming, penicillin, and these kind of things. Post-it labs. Post-it labs.
What is that?
It was in 3M company. One researcher was trying to make a new kind of glue. But he was not very successful because the glue was not very good. It was good enough to hold small time and give no traces after that. So people, what they did, they started to use this kind of post-it labs.
Post-it.
You know it.
Yes.
So in putting in between the book, you know, you have like different pages of book, and they did do it like this one.
Yes. Somehow.
And nowadays,
use it a lot. Yes.
nowadays, post-it labs.
Yes.
You have everywhere.
Yes. It's such a clue that is enough to get together, but also not enough to remove it. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the level of clue.
Yes.
And that's why serendipity may happen anyway.
Yes. Yes. Because serendipity is the art of benefiting from unexpected things.
How to get to make sure that it's happening more, if it happens by chance.
That's why I'm been talking here in Mongolia as well. We have to create physical environments where, like co-working. So people from different organizations, they go and work together in some space. So that it. The other thing, also virtual platforms, competence platforms, as I call them. So whenever you are joining this kind of platform, you can share your knowledge, competence, and also motivation. And this competence platform enables you to create new combinations of competencies.
Fascinating. If this is, we talk about the competitiveness, we talk about the productivity that might multiplicate several times more than you were expecting. And what can we do in universities to have this culture, to expect that and to get people thinking in that way? What do you do, for example, in Finland to develop these ideas?
We have this kind of new entities coming up. You know, urban mill is for urban development. Vertical is an accelerator of health tech. So we have this kind of different, ideas or entities. They are concentrating on this, and this, and this. But what they have, physical space, virtual space. So in order, if you are interested about healthcare, you know, like I have this Suunto computer or whatever, you know, in my, and it kind of gives me heart rate or whatever. If you're interested in that, it's the community building which is really, really important. Pre-incubation, like community building.
Then it's not only we talk about the universities, we talk about community. Everywhere people feel kind of on one hand using the achievement of science and technology. On the other hand, you combine it into more benefit for yourself, like the watch and the community later on, how wealthy the community is, wellness of the community is. Finland, what is the reason why Finland is always kind of innovative? You created Nokia, small nations, 5 million, 6 million people, and then yet by your productivity, you are one of the highest. Where you think, what are the reasons of making Finland successful like this? What do you think?
First of all, our education system, because everybody can go to university, have a degree, master's degree, for not paying anything. So there is no fee going. And
all the way through universities.
Also, it applies also for the students abroad. So if somebody from Mongolia wants to go to Finland, the tuition fee is 0.
But all education is in Finnish?
No. It's in English.
Wow. So a student can go there and study in English in Finland free of charge?
Yes.
Getting higher education?
Yes.
Wow. And how many Mongolians are there, if you know?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Hopefully many, but
I don't know. I think you know. So this is a good information. One, education.
Yes.
Second, what makes them even educate people keep driving to make a new innovation and not just ever do what you do, what Finnish guys do, all for the world market. How come that culture comes that deep?
It's about the spirit of entrepreneurship. In Finland, at the moment, there is a lot of youngsters who are really driving for startup companies. So instead of taking a career somewhere in a big institution, so they want to establish their own company. And the reason for that is that we had maybe 2 very successful IT companies, gaming industry, Angry Birds. You probably know Angry Birds. They are everywhere in the world. And the other one was, bought by Japanese with $5 million or something like that. So we have 2 very good examples, and now people are thinking, okay, if I can do this, because they could do it. Some people could do it. So if I can do it, I will follow.
So if we get a Mongolian company doing something extraordinary that whole world buys, then there will be more chance for second Mongolian company, somebody else to go out.
Yeah, exactly. You need the testimonial. You need the example. So somebody from Mongolia would be successful, and then after that, they.
By the way, in a certain way, it's happening already in a way that now successful Mongolians are becoming world-class kind of CEOs, then that second one is coming. If this guy is doing what I'm not doing, so education, spirit of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
The third, do you have particular policy? How does your tax system support this kind of entrepreneurship by young people?
There's no support by the tax system itself, but if you do this, this kind of startup system, you, of course, in Finnish legislation, you can cut off every development costs. So if the company puts like like 1 million to development of something, you know, you can cut it off in your taxes. So there is no such initiative like something tax or something. But the tax level in Finland is one of the lowest in Europe.
Well, how come?
Company tax.
I thought it's one of the highest.
No, the company tax.
Yeah, what is the tax system?
Company tax is about 22%.
Okay. Okay.
But the income tax is very high. So that's the difference. If you get like $100,000 per year salary, then you pay 50%.
Okay.
of
50,000.
tax.
Okay.
But if you are freelancer, then you pay 22%.
Oh, I see. Okay. Income tax is different. Well, you going to give a speech at that symposium called Science, Technology, and Innovation Ecosystem. What is the major point of that speech you're going to make?
Major point is, I think, that instead of following the traditional science park model, triple helix, you should, in Mongolia, to take one generation more, so third generation science park, which means that you have to get this kind of thing going, what's happening now in Helsinki area. Grassroots level activities, students are the power of this.
I see. Not institutions, but students.
Yes.
That's a very interesting point. And with this, hope this system and the conference and your motto, giving this idea, will help a lot to further development of the science in the country and Mongolia in general. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. За хүндэтгэгчдээ өнөөдөр манай de facto нэвтрүүлгээр Финлянд улсын лаборанто технологийн их сургуулийн магистр ноён Илкка Kakko оролцлоо. Их баярлалаа.
Энэ бол iPhone 6s. Дэмжих өөрчлөгдөөгүй. Гэхдээ хурууны даралтыг мэдэрнэ. Ингэснээр текстийн мэдээллийг уншихад өөр болсон. Имэйл уншихад, мэдээ уншихад байз чи мэдээ уншдаг гэж үү?
Яп.
Оо тэгэлгүй дээ. Камер нь 4K бичлэг хийж селфи хийхэд дэлгэцэн гэрэлтүүлж өгнө. Энд ч нэгсэл лайк цуглуулна да.
Thanks.
Зургнууд нь бас өөрчлөгдөж амьд болсон. Та хүрээд үз. Тийм ээ, энэ бол өөрчлөгдсөн зүйлс.